The late afternoon sun had just begun to fade over Utah Valley University when the unthinkable happened. A single, deafening crack split the air, sharp, surgical, and final. Within moments, the crowd froze, their screams caught between disbelief and terror. On the stage, conservative activist Charlie Kirk staggered back, clutching his neck. He had been answering a question about mass shootings and transgender issues when the bullet found him. His body crumpled in an instant, his voice silenced forever. Children screamed. Parents covered their eyes. Supporters cried out his name. Yes, there was nothing anyone could do. One well-placed shot had ended the life of one of America's most polarizing figures. And somewhere nearby, a young man watched the chaos he had unleashed. Prosecutors say 22-year-old Tyler Robinson didn't confess to police. He didn't stand in a courtroom and admit guilt. Instead, he left his confession hidden in plain sight, a folded note tucked under a computer keyboard for his roommate, his romantic partner, to discover. The note was chillingly simple. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. When his partner found it, confusion erupted. A flurry of text messages followed. "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard," Tyler allegedly wrote. The response was immediate and panicked. "What? You're joking, right?" But the truth, prosecutors allege, was darker than anyone could imagine. Tyler replied, I'm sorry." He wrote that he had enough of Kirk's hatred, that some hate can't be negotiated out. And then, in a message that revealed both guilt and resignation, he admitted, "To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." The roommate, stunned and terrified, tried to reason with him. "You weren't the one who did it, right?" But the young man only repeated, I'm sorry." Even before police arrived, Tyler's parents had already begun to fear the truth. His mother was the first to recognize him. Watching shaky cell phone footage from the scene of the assassination, she noticed a figure that looked achingly familiar. "That looks like our son," she told her husband. The father confronted him over the phone, but Tyler insisted he had been homesick that day. Still, the unease lingered. Something in his voice sounded off. Later, when the father pressed harder, Tyler broke. He hinted that maybe he didn't want to live anymore. That maybe it would be better to end it than go to prison. Frightened for his life, his parents rushed to bring him home. With the help of a trusted family friend, a retired sheriff's deputy, they persuaded him to surrender. On Thursday night, after a 33-hour manhunt that gripped Utah, the suspect walked out of his parents' home and into police custody. Prosecutors revealed a damning series of evidence. DNA from Tyler was allegedly found on the trigger of the rifle. Messages to his roommate detailed his attempt to recover the weapon after stashing it nearby. "I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it," he reportedly wrote. A rifle resembling his grandfather's bolt-action firearm, which his father had suspected might be the murder weapon. Piece by piece, the picture of premeditation began to take shape. The charges don't stop at murder. Prosecutors allege Tyler tried to pull his roommate into his web of secrecy. He instructed them to delete messages, to keep quiet if questioned, to protect him even as the weight of his actions crushed them both. In the small Utah community where Tyler grew up, disbelief spread like wildfire. Neighbors remembered a quiet, sensitive boy who had become more politically outspoken in recent years. He had embraced LGBTQ rights, entered into a relationship with a transgender woman, and railed against what he saw as hate in the world. But none of them could have imagined it would come to this. Outside the headquarters of Turning Point USA in Phoenix, Arizona, a makeshift memorial grew by the hour. Mothers brought their children, laying roses at the base of a giant poster of Charlie Kirk. Some wept openly, whispering prayers for his family. Others stood in silence, clutching candles, their faces illuminated by grief and disbelief. Tyler Robinson's first court appearance was brief but heavy with tension. Appearing remotely from the Utah County Jail, where he is being held in a special housing unit without bail, he sat motionless as prosecutors read out the charges. Aggravated murder, felony discharge of a firearm, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, 2 counts of witness tampering, and committing a violent crime in the presence of children. 7 charges in total, each carrying the weight of a life forever changed and of a country torn further apart by violence and ideology. Utah County Attorney Jeffrey Gray announced that his office would seek the death penalty. But he also reminded the public of one fundamental truth. The defendant is innocent until proven guilty. He will face trial by jury. When questioned by his parents why he had done it, prosecutors say Tyler replied, "There is too much evil. The guy spreads too much hate." It was a justification that will echo through courtrooms and living rooms alike, sparking debates that cut to the core of America's cultural and political divide. Yet for the crowd at Utah Valley University, for the children who watched a man collapse before their eyes, and for the family of Charlie Kirk, who must now live with the hole left in his absence, no justification will ever be enough. Because in the end, one bullet didn't just end a man's life. It shattered a community, tore apart a family, and left behind a nation still asking why hatred, on any side, must so often end in blood.